Himanta Biswa Sarma joining us on the broadcast. Sir, as someone who's seen Arun Jaitley both from the Congress point of view and as a BJP leader, how do you recall your association with him?
First of all, I'd like to offer my deepest condolence to the nation because we have lost one of greatest statesmen. I remember when I joined BJP, then after 3-4 days, one day Arunji called me through someone. I went to his home because I was surprised because why such the person of his position has called me. He called me to his room and he has given me an idea about the party, how one should function, what is the party's expectation from me, and how I should cope with the party. Then thereafter, we work very closely with GSP Council. Today, we have seen GSP Council a proper federal body that is primarily because of Arunji's leadership. There were many occasions where we had a clash with our colleague state, mainly from opposition rule. But Arunji will be the one who will always say that GST will function as a consensus creator body. No decision will be taken on voting until and unless it is very serious. He used to sit down 8 hours, 10 hours, till a consensus is emerged. And he has led GSP Council in that way. I still remember, even for a small issue concerning dry fish of Manipur, he will be listening to the finance minister of Manipur, and he will indulge a debate on this even a small issue for hours, because he feels the council was for everyone, for small states or for big states. When states like UP demanded that GST Council should not have an even voting pattern, the voting should have been on percentage basis depending on the revenue one state contributes. Arunji was one person who said no. Even a small state should have a voice and everybody will have an equal voting in the GST Council. So I must say that India has lost one of its greatest statesmen, greatest finance minister, and I'll never forget his immense contribution towards making of GST, towards consolidating India's finance, and for his love and affection towards a new entrants like us, in party.
Which must have been very heartening for you, given where you came from and the circumstances in which you came into the BJP. You must have found that to be a big change, sir.
No, it was a big cultural change for me because I have seen many people joining Congress party in my life. But I hardly remember even leader like us or worker like us would not have even called a other person who has recently joined the party and given him a warm welcome. So when people like Arun Jaitley sitting in the chair of finance minister, when he would have called people like me and given an ideological orientation about the party, that was a big cultural shock for me. That day I realized that this party is really different. And then I had the opportunity of working closely with Arun Jaitley, and every day his intellectual capacity, his consensus building capacity has impressed me. He is one who has left a deep sense of foundation, deep sense of influence on us.
And Himanta Biswa Sarma, given his sound legal advice, his legal acumen, many a time that also came in very handy in tiding over difficult situations, sir?
I think that we all have seen. I think how he stood by his friends, how he stood by the cause, and how he has conducted himself in Parliament, how he has conducted in Supreme Court. That we have all seen. I think, in my view, he was one of the greatest human beings. He had a very pure soul, and I have never seen him talking something irrational, talking something which is not good for the nation. He will always speak. He used to always speak for the nation. He used to always speak for the cause which he believes that was the right. So we lost a great human being, a great parliamentarian, and of course a great legal luminary.
And with such a wonderful sense of humor and cricket similes in a lot of his conversations, when he would give a cricket simile in perhaps some very difficult political context, yes, but even in legal and financial context, sir. Hemant Biswa Sarma, did you also find that his love for cricket would reflect in his conversation? Love for cricket and love for food, actually, both.
Yes, because I was president of Assam Cricket Association, and at that point of time he was active in BCCI. Cricket was one of his, whenever you had a conversation with him, cricket will always figure. And very good, nice story about Indian politics. He would always like to share. I mean, he would not talk anything bad about anyone, but he will always talk about some fond memories of yesteryear he used to share with us.
Yes.
And I have not seen him talking bad about anyone. Whenever I have seen in council, if some members were very critical of certain things, but when he, basically from opposition, when he lost election and he goes out of GST council,
yes,
Arunji will be the first one to move a resolution acknowledging the contribution of that finance minister in making of GST. I mean, he used to behave with everyone similarly. I always feel, I have always found that various finance minister of opposition rule state will always get a huge comfort when they used to talk to him.
So stay with me for a moment. We are getting to know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken to Mr. Arun Jaitley's family. He spoke to Mrs. Jaitley. He also spoke to Mr. Arun Jaitley's son. The family has requested the Prime Minister not to cancel his current tour and return, is what we are being told. The Prime Minister is in the UAE. He will then travel to Bahrain and then back to France for G7. Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, please stay with me for a moment. I also have Santosh Gangwarji joining me on the broadcast. Sir, you've had such a long association, both in the party and in the government with Mr. Arun Jaitley. How do you remember him, Mr. Gangwar?
Yes, sir. मुझे इस बात का सौभाग्य है कि जो पहला चुनाव मैं लड़ा था तो जेटली जी मेरे चुनाव में एक सप्ताह बरेली रहे थे। ये अपने आप में काफी आपको आश्चर्यजनक लगा होगा कि मुझको पार्टी ने बेगम आबिदा अहमद के मुकाबले में टिकट देकर खड़ा किया था और जेटली साहब एक सप्ताह बरेली में रहे थे। तब से मेरा जेटली जी से वास्ता है और बीते समय में मैं वित्त मंत्रालय में भी एक साल उनके साथ रहा, तो वो जो व्यवहार जेटली जी का मेरे साथ था परिवार के रूप का था, छोटे भाई का था और निश्चित रूप से उनका सोच बिल्कुल साफ समझ में आता था। बहुत से विषयों पर उनकी राय बिल्कुल क्लियर थी और वो देश के मामले में जो सोच विचार करते थे, मुझे आश्चर्य होता था कि वो इतना समय कैसे लगाते हैं, किस प्रकार से लगाते हैं। तो मैं इतना ही कह सकता हूँ कि वास्तव में हमारी पार्टी ने एक नेता नहीं खोया है, एक स्टेट्समैन को अपने से अलग किया है और वास्तव में देश के बारे में एक सही सोचने वाले व्यक्ति को हमने अपने के बीच से अलग किया है।
राष्ट्र हित को सदैव सर्वोपरि रखते थे, आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा संतोष गंगवार जी। रहिए मेरे साथ, अभी अभी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की भी प्रतिक्रिया आ रही है एंड द प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैज जस्ट ट्वीटेड सेइंग अरुण जेटली जी वाज अ पॉलिटिकल जायंट, a towering intellectual and a legal luminary. He was an articulate leader who made a lasting contribution to India. His passing away is very saddening. Spoke to his wife Sangeeta ji as well as his son Rohan and expressed condolences. Om Shanti. And this is that contribution. संतोष गंगवार जी, जो इस समय दुख आपकी पार्टी महसूस कर रही है, संभवतः वो देश का दुख है, क्योंकि यही अरुण जेटली जी का देश के प्रति उनकी निष्ठा और उनका योगदान था। संतोष गंगवार जी,
वो पार्टी से ऊपर उठकर सोचते थे, और वो जैसा भी आप कह रहे हैं कि देश के हिसाब से और देश हित में सोचते थे। और मेरा कई बार उनके बीच में बैठकर सुनने समझने का मौका मिला, तो मैं इतना ही कह सकता हूँ कि वास्तव में वो ऐसा नेतृत्व था कि जो वास्तव में देश को उनके हमको आवश्यकता थी, क्योंकि अभी उनकी उम्र जो हुई थी वो हमारी और सेवा कर सकते थे। और मैं इतना ही कह सकता हूँ कि वास्तव में देश के लिए क्षति हुई है, और व्यक्तिगत मैंने जितने समय से मैं उनके साथ हूँ, मैं महसूस कर सकता हूँ उन्होंने हमारे प्रति हमेशा एक सॉफ्ट कॉर्नर रखा और हमारे प्रति हमेशा प्रेम भाव रखा।
सर रहिएगा, मेरे पास वरिष्ठ कांग्रेस नेता वीरप्पा मोइली अब हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं, पूर्व मंत्री हैं। मिस्टर मोइली, you may have been on the opposite side of the political fence, but Arun Jaitley, how do you recall him? Someone who had the power to take friends and those in the opposition along with him.
Even though, he was physically in the opposite camp, but, many a time I used to feel at home, and many, when I was law minister, the corporate affairs minister, and also a minister in charge of petroleum sector, then, the many tricky issues, which came across or in any legislation, I used to discuss with him, and I used to go to him and talk to him. Many a time he also visited my house, and we had discussion, and, we could resolve the problems, and, then I used to get absolute cooperation from Arun Jaitley ji. So this is a kind of a warm-heartedness, and also a great intellectual, and also a great strategician, and, I salute him for his great personality.
Mr. Moily, he had this unique ability, not there in many leaders, to even take rivals along with him. Politically you may be rivals, but that personal bond was always very strong, sir.
Yeah, it has been always so. He has that personal faith, to make friendship, and in fact, many a time we used to walk together in the Lodi Garden, and of course he will. One thing which I differ from is that he used to start his walk with the, to join the club for eating, and also he sometimes his walk begins with eating and ends with eating. So this is where I differed him. I said, you are coming for a walk. Moily, this is the only place where I can take the liberty of eating, and that liberty I don't have at my home.
Which is true. He was such a foodie, and the amount of chaat, the number of chaat parties that he would throw was very interesting. Chaat, kachori, papdi, all of that was his favorite, sir. Mr. Moily.
Everything is favorite. Everything is favorite, and we used to warn him, and you are not well and don't eat much, and you don't. In fact, sometimes the eating is infectious to us. And I said, sometimes I have to resist coming for a walk along with you.
Yes, yes. Those are such moments, Mr. Veerappa Moily, for joining us. Many, many thanks. I also want to cut across to